God, that breadcrumb really threw me for a loop.
This is how you die.
I know.
Death by Scotch egg.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Me either.
Hello, and welcome to Incomplete Geeks, a gay geek podcast where we talk about all sorts of geeky things. I'm John, that's Nick. We are two gays gossiping about the good stuff and groaning about the gripes of all things geeky.
That's a lot of G's.
I know.
I don't blame you for not getting that the first time around. Well done.
I heard you like all the G's. I don't know why I said that. I forgot to say, we talk about all things geeky, some of which we know a lot about. Other things, our knowledge is a little bit
incomplete.
That's right.
Like knowledge about the different G's.
All the G's.
Mm-hmm.
This is episode 58.
It is.
I looked up the number. Are you proud of me?
I am, because I would have had no clue.
We do enjoy doing this, honestly.
I know, we do love it. This isn't an afterthought. I swear, a lot of planning has actually gone into this episode. It just doesn't sound like it yet. But we'll get there.
Oh, I'm sure though. We'll turn our
We've already
listeners
lost
around.
them. It's fine.
We haven't lost them already. Yeah, so today we're talking about, this is our last episode of 2023.
Yeah, man.
We're going to do what we did last year, is just give a kind of year in review.
And then what are we excited for 2024? Just a few things. I didn't do. Yeah, there's just a few things. I can't
but
go
that's
to.
fine.
Yeah.
And the thing is, things will change in the future anyway. But like, I'm going to handle, I have a list of things that happened this year, things that came out.
Yep.
Things to gripe about, things to be happy about. And then you'll take over and tell me what we can look forward to.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Sounds great, John.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad you think so.
I almost forgot what your name was. It's like, are you Nick or John? No, I'm Nick or John.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think sometimes, once in a while, I'll be with somebody who I know very, very well. And then I'll have to say their name. And I'm like, what the fuck is your name?
I know the name, but I panic that I've got it wrong for 20 years. It's like, I have to,
what?
when you have to introduce someone, like, this is Michelle? Yeah. Michelle.
Because how often do you have to say their name?
19. Exactly. You were 19.
I do that a lot. I just feel like I'm hitting early onset dementia.
Yeah.
Like the first things that go is people's names.
It sure is. Yeah. So while you're chugging some gin and
So on that note,
we have had a couple of beers and my memory's already gone.
I mean, that was hours ago.
Yeah, that doesn't make it better.
You gave up, and I'm continuing to drink anyway.
Good for you.
Good for me.
That's a good gay gin drinker. A couple of G's for you there. So what happened in 2023, John? Let's get to it.
There's been a lot. Yeah, let's get to it. So I'll start. Oh wait, I have to ask you as well. Should we do this? Okay, I'm not really comfortable doing it chronologically. Should we just do it by section?
Yeah, I don't remember what happened when. Okay. So that's fine.
So we're going to talk about films.
Yep.
We're going to talk about TV shows.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about video games.
We could talk about comics as well.
Briefly. I want to talk about comic books, but I don't read comics. So you need to fill me in. Okay.
Remind me to do that, because there's one big comic book thing that happened this year, which is important to talk about.
I did look, but I didn't know what I was looking for. So.
Well, that's going to make it more difficult then.
Yes, thank you.
I agree, Let's do films.
Let's start with films. So, obviously, we talk a lot about Marvel stuff, so let's not start with that.
Okay.
So, the biggest film, which is probably going to win a lot of awards next year, is...
Barbie!
It's Barbie! And Oppenheimer, let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm worried that Oppenheimer will win more awards, even though...
I think it's more accessible to the heteronormative population.
Disagree entirely. I think it's more accessible to the Academy that makes the decisions, and that's what they look for, is moody grit shit.
They do love their moody stuff.
If it's a fun thing, they're not going to give it an Oscar.
It's much harder for fun stuff. So there's the fun aspect as well, but also because it's a fun, groundbreaking film for female empowerment, the Oscars fucking love that shit as well.
Oh, that's
not
true.
Shit, you know what I mean? But
that stuff. Yeah. We'll see. I can imagine Greta getting it. I think that's more important. Greta
as
getting
director.
Yeah, or writer, or both.
So probably
I think that'd be great if she got the director. Like, then that's another one. Let's get him in. Let's make it a thing.
I think director. This is not an Oscar podcast. It's because it's not geeky enough. But
No.
I think that it's more likely for her that she was going to get a directing nod because the directing field has been so inundated with men,
Forever, yeah.
and women have been writing more than they have been directing. Recently, so.
Yeah, I agree. Cool.
So yeah, probably there's only been 2 women so far for Oscars for directing. I think.
Did a third one not win? Who
Right
won last year?
If I'm wrong.
Who won last year?
Last year it was the two
So just
Daniels.
So just 2 then.
I think 2 women.
Yeah.
To win for directing.
Chloe Zhao
For
Nomadland.
Yeah.
And then Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine
for
Bigelow
Hurt Locker.
was the first.
First.
One, yeah. I think that's it.
I don't. Yeah, because
If I'm wrong, please write in at incompletegeekspodcast@gmail.com. Or
don't.
Or don't.
That's fine.
No, I'd like
We
to
can't
know.
make you.
I could probably look it up myself. But
We'll do it later.
I don't care that much. I do care. Fuck, what's wrong with me? This is the gym already talking. Okay, so Barbie's
Gin
great.
does make you depressive. Yeah. Barbie is great, and it was amazing, and I wouldn't call it geeky, but it was just brilliant.
It was great for like something that was just out of the norm, away from the norm.
So good, yeah.
It deserves all the praise it gets.
Absolutely. Yep. It wasn't a gimmick. It was a gimmick, but it was also a great film. Very well written, well directed.
It did the gimmick so well by being aware that it was a gimmick.
Exactly. It's a doll.
So that film
amazing.
Deserves all the praise it gets. On the other side, what do we think about the Super Mario Brothers movie? Because that came out, broke a lot of records. People loved it. Yeah. Like, as far as animation, as far as video game films, as far as et cetera,
Did you watch
opening nights. I did watch it. I watched it on a plane though. So I feel like watching things on a plane is a way to sort of just say that you've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't really get the full sort of ambiance.
Was it good?
I enjoyed it. I honestly didn't. I could because it was on a plane. I was like, I was sharing headphones with my boyfriend, and I was like, I had the one headphone, and I couldn't even tell it was Chris Pratt being Mario. I couldn't tell. It didn't sound like him.
Interesting.
Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But it was fine. Like, I feel like it was doing a lot of fan service to be like, ooh, look at this bit. Ooh, look at this bit. And it did kind of, to me, run the sort of the standard story of, you know, heroes doing this, and it was just fun action things, and this happens, then like the quirky character comes through, whatever. And it was like, it was fine. I didn't mind it.
Did you watch Sonic?
No.
Neither did I.
The part live action one with like Jim Carrey. I didn't. Was that good?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Write in if you've seen it and you're like,
just wonder which one's better, Sega or Nintendo. Okay.
Super Mario Brothers
Probably. It looks pretty. Meh.
Also, there's a fair amount of female empowerment in that film as well with Princess Peach. But I think her face looks weird. I'm sorry. Her eyes, or it must be her eyes, or something about her face, it just look a bit odd.
I mean, that kind of matches Anya Taylor-Joy, doesn't it? She's got weird eyes.
She does, yeah. I forgot that was her as well. See, I didn't hear anything. She does, but at least she's human. But like, they could draw. she can't help it. But Princess Peach, like, you could change that. It's something that just looks a bit off. Anyway, minor gripe.
Interesting. Okay.
Here's another film that I was pleasantly surprised by. Definitely in the realms of geekdom. The Dungeons and Dragons film.
Yes. We've talked about that briefly before. Did we talk about it?
I think
in the Dungeons and Dragons episode? You hadn't seen it by then. That was a long time ago.
That was a while. That was like last year, but this came out in March, I think. And we mentioned it in a Geekery of the Weekery, I think.
Probably, yes. I'm sure we talked about it. Yeah. It's on my list of things, like, as is Super Mario Brothers. I don't think I'll watch Mario Brothers. Just, I'll never get around to it. Maybe watch Dungeons and Dragons. Because I have nothing against it. I don't really care for Chris Pine. But not enough to be like, I won't watch this because of Chris Pine. Like, I don't hate him.
Yeah. And that's fine.
I find him very chalky and boring. But
he's, because you might not know what this means, but he plays the bard in the party.
Yeah.
Which kind of is...
I know of that. I watched Vox Machina.
Oh, right, okay. So there's a bard in the
concept.
But like trying to do that in live action, it's... The thing is, like...
Yeah.
A bard is never like the star of the group when you play D&D.
Don't they like tell the story to people and
No, bards are kind of there to like boost other characters' stats in a way.
And they charm the dragon.
And they can do, they're usually pretty good they're usually strong at doing stuff like that, like the charming the dragon.
Yeah.
I rolled a nat 20. Ooh, that's...
Heads or tails?
Heads or tails, yeah. That's what I was thinking of. That's a good TikTok. But the thing is about that, the reason that film did so well, because I think there is enough in the film that will make you happy if you have zero experience of what Dungeons and Dragons is.
Good for generic audiences.
If you do know if you're an expert at D&D, you will still get a lot of it. Like, oh, that's a mimic, or oh, that's a displacer beast, or even like, oh, he just did that kind of spell.
Fun.
And it's like you will get all of that, and it will add to your enjoyment of it. But if you haven't, then it's still a good. It's still a good story. It's still a fun story.
And I love the fact, and I've seen the clip of the throwback to the cartoon are in the background.
Yes, there's like a maze section, and I saw that. I've never seen the cartoon, but I've seen clips because we talked about it. And there's live action versions of them.
That's cute as fuck. I love that. It's nice.
And we talked early before about how the paladin, who's not part of the group, but they go get his help. He's the guy from Bridgerton, which I've never seen.
Yeah, and
he's quite fit in this film.
Another
reason to watch it
is.
What's his name? His name was
Reggae. Brown, Charles Brown.
Why are we trying this? We should just look it up.
Like you have your phone literally in front of us there. He is super hot. He's been in TV shows and been hot for a while. But I feel like he's
besides
he was in a Shonda Rhimes things before that was cancelled, which I really liked. A lawyer show. I like a good lawyer show. I just feel like he's bought his own hype after Bridgerton way too quickly.
What do you mean bought his hype?
Bought into his own hype, as in he's like, I'm not coming back for season. I'm not coming back for season 2. I'm too good for this. Yeah, so they've had to change things because his character's not coming back and things like that. This is the way he. He's fine, but
his name is Reggae Jean Page.
Yeah, there we go. Super rich.
I was like, I thought it was like Jeans something.
Jean
Page.
Cool.
So anyway,
okay. Yeah.
So that's good. A good film.
Good geekeries. Yeah. Good geeks.
Let's talk about so we're going to talk about Marvel because we have to. But before we do that, let's talk about the DC films.
Yes.
Which instead of being separate entries on my list is all in one line.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that tell you? So we have here's the DC films that came out in 2023. Shazam 2.
Fury of the
Gods. God bless Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu.
Lucy bloody Liu. Why did you agree to do that, Lucy? But okay.
Or even Helen. The Flash.
Helen. Sure did.
Yep. Blue Beetle. Which you forgot about already, haven't you? Blue Beetle.
Did it come out in the cinemas?
It came out like a month or two ago. Yeah.
Fuck.
Where have you been?
Not in the cinema. Not watching that.
Nah. And then, well, for reasons, we'll talk about them. But also, what came out recently, like this week.
Which I had no idea until we walked past it, our poster for it today on the way here.
Aquaman 2. Lost
and
Pirates of the Caribbean.
What the fuck? I had no idea that was out. I mean, I have no intention of going to watch it because why would you?
The only thing I know about it is that it was delayed by a year because of Amber Heard.
Yeah.
And there was some sort of behind the scenes drama. That's it. But like I enjoyed the first one.
I did too. It was stupid. But I enjoyed it.
Like, what did we expect from an
Oscar? Yeah, exactly. But also, it kind of knew it was. Yeah. It's Aquaman.
Again, it knew what it was. It
don't try to be. Exactly. It was running along rooftops and he was wet and topless.
That's all we needed. In a shiny green pants.
Nicole Kidman was ridiculous. That's when it tried to be something it wasn't. It's like, oh, here's Oscar-winning actress Nicole Kidman as his mum. It's like, we don't need all that.
I didn't care about that.
We don't need that. Oh, shut up, Nicole. You're not good at this.
What has she said?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't remember anything she said, but she just doesn't suit it.
I think she's in this film as well.
I think so too.
Plus Patrick Wilson is also hot as well.
Patrick fucking Wilson. I've been trying to think of that guy's name because I've seen the posters and clips. I'm like, what the fuck is that guy's name?
I'm pretty sure there was a time like 10 years ago where every film that he was in, he was like contractually obliged to have his top off in at least one scene.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
because he's not like a young hot stud. He's like a
Is he not?
He's not young. Exactly. So that's good. Variety of hot studs.
I can't think of, because
I don't know what he's been in.
He was in Watchmen.
The film?
Yeah. The film, he was the owl man or whatever. Okay. I forget.
It's been so long, I don't remember anyone in that film.
I do. We could have... No.
We'll do a Watchmen episode.
No, I was going to say that, but I thought maybe I should stop promising things that I'm not going to...
We'll do it eventually. Unless we get cancelled.
The only comic book I did try to read.
Yeah, it's good.
In my life.
Fair.
So
a weird year for DC. None of them have done well, right? Obviously, The Flash is probably the biggest box office bomb of all time. Marvel's. Shazam bombed as well.
Shazam bombed. It also had bad reviews.
Blue Beetle, I didn't even know about.
I don't know if Blue Beetle got bad reviews.
I thought it was also kind of because it was an HBO Max thing. I thought it was released to streaming fairly quickly.
Oh, really?
But that's just me extrapolating what I heard from comic book queers. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Because it's kind of sometimes... sorry, Brett. Sometimes you're on in the background and I hear bits and I'm like, Blue Beetle, what?
In case you're listening.
In case Brett and Evil Jeff are listening, it's like, sorry. Sometimes you're just background. But...
so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But we...
Not a banner year for DC.
It wasn't really... It didn't sort of grab any big attention.
Do you think they made sure that Aquaman came out this year so that they can be like, okay, yeah, we're done. And that's it. Because this is the last one.
It's definitely the last one before James
Gunn's universe.
With this story.
Let's get this over and done with. Put them all in 1 year, as they all tanked and were all stupid, and you could kind of write off this year and forget about it.
Yeah.
That's the Flash year. Just awful.
The Flash year. Now, here's the thing. If it weren't for the actor being super fucking crazy at the moment, it was kind of an okay film. And I think we'll talk about the actor later. We don't have to.
No, we're not going to talk about the actor.
Let's mention it now, because they are a particularly notable person of this year because of all the shit that's happening.
The kidnapping and crazy.
The grooming. Yeah, well, alleged. Is it alleged? I don't even know.
I don't know,
that's
actually.
Not assumed. But the acting was decent.
Yeah, that's not really what you want from your multi-million-pound
no, of course
box office. You want it to be like, you don't want it to be like, meh.
The point of it is don't be fucking weird. Don't do stupid shit in your personal life to fuck up the franchise. That's good.
But also, make good films, DC. We're looking at
also
you, James.
Film, yeah.
We're looking at you, James.
He's got a lot writing.
I don't think he does. I think because they've finally done the Kevin Feige, it's like one person's going to be like, yeah, oh no, that matches. Oh no, we won't do that. So it's not all these people being like,
yeah,
and not writers and directors. It's studio executives and having all the Fox people having their opinion and this person. Oh no, we're going to reshoot 6 months. All that kind of stuff. If you have one person who's the kind of no, we're not doing that. Yes, we're doing that. No, we're sticking to our plan. I'm going to hire that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The times that all these comic book films bomb is when it's losing faith back and forth. They change their minds. They cut someone else. Zack Snyder, his daughter died, so it's different. But they replace it with a different director. You get this. The producer's like, no, we have test screenings. We need to change this.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. We need to do. It's a mess. It's like fucking sort it out before you start. Have it planned.
Have a vision.
Have a proper vision of how you want it, and go. I think it can only be a good thing, and I don't think anyone's got expectation. No one's expecting it to be worse.
Which is what? How high a bar is that?
So, if he does a film that's like, oh, that wasn't a big stinking pile of shit.
Yay! Well,
I'll be really happy.
I will add to that.
He's starring with Superman, isn't he? That's a big fucking role.
I mean, how could you not start Superman if you have a...
You got it. You should. Yeah, I know you should, but it's a big one.
And it's being recast, obviously, right? Because obviously, is he recasting?
It's not Cavill. Yeah,
it's the new guy. Universe.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's that new guy. He's cute. I don't know his name, but he was in that thing. He's got a big, giant dong as well.
That's what you remember.
I sure
remember
do.
His name or what he's been in. But look
he
at
was
that penis.
In that thing about the politician.
That's
thing.
helpful.
It's called The Politician, I think.
Oh, a TV show. There was a TV show called The Politician, wasn't there?
Ben Pratt.
But Ben...
The singing one?
Recognize the name.
Yeah. It was a Netflix show when he was in it as well.
Is he the gay one?
He is.
Really?
And there was a thing.
He's a gay actor taking a straight role. How dare he?
No, he's not a gay actor. He was a gay character.
Oh,
or a bisexual character.
So he's a straight actor taking a bisexual role.
A bisexual role.
Yeah, appropriation. Exactly.
Yeah, well then Judith Light and Bette Midler show up in season 2. You couldn't get gayer than that. Anyway, he was in that. He looks like Clark Kent. He's got the whole twirly hair thing. He looks amazing.
Okay, let's not go through what we're expecting next year because we can talk about that. But we have.
Is Superman out next year?
You want to look it up. I will continue because what I want to
add to
what you were saying before about one person having one vision and have one plan. Yeah. I think that is really, really vital to having one coherent story. The biggest complaint that I have about the MCU, because obviously I have this authority to say what I think about it, right? But the story is not being connected as well. I feel like, especially when it was bought by Disney and all these Disney shows came out, the one person who is supposed to be in charge of all those storylines, whatever, is just losing the plot again.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Well, I call him Kevin Feige, but call him what you want. But like, how do you go from the TV show to film to TV show and maintain all of that? We will be in a second. But like, just certain things.
It was his idea to do the TV show, so it was his responsibility to make sure it worked out right.
He got over his head.
He bit off way more than he could fucking chew. He over promised, under delivered,
and he's losing it a little bit. So I think the scaling back will be good.
Oh, thank God! I can't wait. Get rid of fucking Disney Plus shows. I don't need any more of them.
Get rid of most of them. Let's talk about Marvel films now because there's 4. Go. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I know. Yep. Is that all we have to say?
That's it. That's literally all I can say.
Worst entry in the MCU films
ever.
Yeah. After that was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that with the little animals and
the little animals. Heartbreaking. Side note, because Tom and I are watching all the Marvel films in chronological order. That's the last one we have to see. There's one left.
Which one?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which has been the most recent.
Oh, you've done the Endgame.
Oh, because we watched Marvels obviously in the cinema.
Yes,
I said you don't have to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 to watch Marvels. So there's still a few TV shows that we can watch if he wants to. It's fine, but we're not watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He has this thing where it's like as soon as we watch it, then our little journey is over, and he doesn't want it to be over, which is kind of cute. But also, he's not gonna like the animal stuff that happens in that film.
No, it was. I think it's the only Marvel film I've cried in.
Yeah.
Because the animal stuff was so sweet and so heartbreaking. I was in tears. And I've not cried at anything.
Yeah.
Maybe Black Panther 2. I cried at the beginning.
At the beginning, yeah.
With the ceremony and that stuff. Yeah. If you're a sensitive soul.
Yeah.
That's going to be...
That's not a spoiler thing, is it? I mean, do we do...
It's too late. It's too late now. We're spoiled this now.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 also had the highest Rotten Tomatoes score of any MCU property this year at 82%.
Oh.
Which some people are saying is like, oh, it's the only one that got over 82. And I'm like, 82 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Right?
We're just used to,
We're just used to, you're not going to get as good as like Endgame or whatever.
Never will.
So that's that. It's kind of another, bookmark for those characters and for James Gunn as well. So it is what it is, and it did what it was supposed to do. What it was trying to do.
Reminded you that not all films are shit.
Yes,
you can still tell a story that's connected, but also its own separate arc.
Yeah, it's connected because it relates to the previous films and has like. Are there any characters that are from non-Guardians of the Galaxy films in this film? I can't think of any. I'm going to say no.
Had no one...
No character...
joined or anything from...
Just Nebula.
Endgame. Yeah, just Nebula swapping over and obviously Gamora swapping over. But no...
So it was kind of like a self-contained story with characters that we're already aware of.
But their journey continued in the Avengers film, so if you didn't see Infinity in that, you wouldn't know. Yeah. Yeah. And it can be done and worked really, really, really well.
It worked well. And there's space for the remaining characters to move on if they want to.
Yeah.
We'll see. So then there's that film. Good. We give it thumbs up. Yeah. After that was The Marvels, which came out recently, which we've had an episode about.
I loved.
I liked.
Yep.
I thought it was fine. I don't think it deserved the flack that it got from people. I think people are weird and angry. They want to be angry about something. We're not.
I'm angry about a lot of things.
Yes, you are, but not about Brie Larson.
Not about Brie Larson. Who I love.
Go. I mean, Brie, if you're listening, keep doing whatever you're doing.
I hope she does, just to piss everyone off.
Yeah. Even if it, well, I mean,
even if it's
more, there's more reason.
No, I hope it's more than that. But I hope if she's like on the final straw, it's like this will piss everyone off. Oh, fantastic! Apart from me, because we like us, we love you. But
she's great.
So great
in the role as well.
So fucking great.
And good for her. Didn't she say that she's not going to stop doing it?
Yeah, I hope so.
Like,
yeah, that's
fucking good.
Good for you.
Come back and do more.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've talked about Marvels. The fourth film that I'm talking about is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Which we mentioned in the Geek of the Weekery.
We didn't do a whole thing about it, did we?
No. Part 2 of 3 in that saga.
Yeah. Like the first one, amazing. Way too long.
There's
way too long. It's such a overstimulating media, which is what makes it fucking revolutionary. The look of it, my brain was on fire watching that animation. It's incredible. But it's 2.5, 3 hours
Something
of it.
It's ridiculous.
It was towards the end was so painful. I'm like, you need to finish this now.
There were definitely some moments when I was like, yeah, come on.
You need to stop adding 45 minutes to your films to make them seem more dramatic. Please just tell the story and finish it. It was great, but it was like pacing is a thing, guys.
It was almost too much. I do think that the animation was an advancement over the first one, which I liked.
It had
because they were
because they were in the multiverse, different universes more.
Yes,
you lived their different animations a hell of a lot more than you did in the first one, where you just kind of saw the bits and pieces when the team came in. Amazing! Oh, it's amazing, and I really look forward to watching it again.
I will with Tom as well,
but I will pause it in the middle and have a little break.
To rub your eyes.
Yeah.
When is the third one out?
No clue.
I think it's early in next year, but check it out.
Oh, well, maybe I'm teasing you because it's actually on my list.
The only other film that I want to talk about before we move on from films is Everything Everywhere All at Once, which technically was last year, I know, but it won all the Oscars earlier this year, which has been a great investment for LGBTQ people in film. I don't have anything to add about that.
Because of what, the lesbian sausage finger scene?
There's lesbian themes in it as well.
The daughter's lesbian.
The daughter, I think she's queer.
So great.
I don't know if she's queer.
Stephanie
Shu.
Yeah. Man, she's
I've heard her on podcasts before. Sounds amazing. Good. And she's really humble as well. She's like, oh, I have no idea. Like, I'm just happy to be
She's very new, but like, she was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. And I think one of the Daniels is gay, but don't quote me on that one.
Oh. Yeah, I think I've seen interviews and I'm like,
fag!
Sorry.
Like, gay! In a good way. So, any other films that you can think of that I haven't talked about? Great. Okay. So, moving on of this year. So that was the year in review regarding films. I'm looking forward to new ones, but you'll get to that later. Let's talk about TV shows.
Yay!
TV shows. Now,
I can't remember what happened this year and what happened the year before. I have no timeline.
Aren't you happy that I have
I'm so glad that you're here
to
help with this.
Let's talk about a few things that I haven't seen yet.
Have I seen them?
Yes.
Great.
Let's talk about Star Trek TV shows.
Yay!
There's really good stuff.
I forgot about that. I forget that that's a whole thing that I love.
So this year we've had Picard season 3.
We sure did.
Which I will watch. Brave New World season 2.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Lower Decks. Lower Decks? Lower
Decks.
Yeah, not Below Decks.
No, that's what I thought it was for ages.
Yeah.
That's a different show.
Sorry, Joe, if you're listening.
Season 4 for Lower Decks? I feel like it's 3 or 4.
But they're doing well, the Star Trek shows.
Lower Decks remains my favorite.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so what's the words I'm looking for? It cares so much about the world and the franchise. Like it's easy to dismiss it as a wacky, zany cartoon with a cat who's a doctor, who's fucking ridiculous.
Who's doctor?
The doctor's a cat. It's brilliant.
Oh, a cat.
Yeah, it's bonkers and stupid, but the lore is correct. The mythology is very, and it makes so many references to Star Trek canon.
Okay,
and it's done with such love and reverence. And the crossover episode of Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks is one of the
Brave New Worlds.
Brave New Worlds.
Is it Strange? No,
Strange New Worlds.
I said Brave.
Strange New Worlds.
I am stupid.
We are both. Was one of the best Star Trek episodes I think I've ever seen. Mainly because it's just done with so much love. Like both of it's like every little reference they do, all the banter, all the it's just done so brilliantly. So and it gives a really nice feeling for this is the future of TV Star Trek. It's like they're taking it very seriously. Yeah. We're trying to tell new stories. Some are old characters, some are new characters, but we know the history. We love it. We're maintaining it. We're not dicking around with it like the Chris Pine movies. That's why I hate Chris Pine, because of Star Trek. I knew there was a reason.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
I resent him for the Star Trek movies because they shat all over it.
TV and filmmakers take note, because I think what's important, what you just said, is that the people...
Yes, all the TV and filmmakers listening to this podcast. Listen to John. He's got some advice for you.
I have the best advice for you, which you're hearing only on this podcast. You've heard it here first.
Exclusive to you.
If you care about the lore, you care about the universe, that means you care about the people who are watching that show.
Yes.
And so if you just sort of, even you can still try to do something new within that lore, but if you try to do something different, like J.J. Abrams did with the Star Trek films, or another example that I'm sure I'll think of later, like where you don't follow the lore as closely, then it kind of sideways insulting the viewers who are watching it.
Yeah. If you don't care about the lore, the mythology, the world that it's in, if you do care about it, you can make changes, big decisions. You can take swings because you're doing it from a place of, well, it don't have to be a fan because we're weird, but with respect for the world that it's come from. Same with everything, with the comic books, with the Marvel, everything. Yes. If you care about the mythology, the world building, you understand why the fans love it.
That's why they watch it.
Yeah. And if you understand that and then be like, you know what, we're going to fuck shit up. Yeah. You will do it, in a way that will be like, shit, didn't see that coming. Yeah. Rather than you just change. You just change. What, Spock and Uhura are fucking now? Yeah. What?
Benedict Cumberbatch is Khan? What?
What the hell? Just to do it. Yeah.
Or what about Killian is the Mandarin? Like that was a thing. Remember Iron Man 3 when it was like, which was tricky for them to do, and there's good reasons why they did it. But also, people hated it at the time because it was like...
It was bad. It was a bad idea. It was a really bad idea.
I didn't know as much about the history of Iron Man.
It's a really bad idea. It's like having a robot-faced man in a cape in the Fantastic Four film and saying, it's like, surprise, it's Dermot O'Leary. Like, no. It's the most iconic Iron Man villain, and you're like, surprise, there's a white guy. Anyway, this is not an Iron Man 3 episode.
No, that's just an example.
But no, exactly.
If it either has to be something that you can change something and still care about it.
Absolutely.
Or it's not as important. Like, for example, in Loki season 1, we have the Tribunal. Remember those 3 characters? Everyone's like talking to the Tribunal. It turns out they're robots. That's not a comic book thing. There were people in the comic books, right? But like, it wasn't that significant. You can still do that kind of change and still care about the story, the mythology.
So those shows give me a lot of faith in a future for Star Trek TV, because I know Discovery is finished. I fell off a long time ago.
I didn't have that on my list. Was that one of them?
It's finishing or finished, and I honestly couldn't tell you because I fell off last season because it's just too dull to watch. So
is that the one that Strange New Worlds is a spin-off of? Okay.
And I feel Strange New Worlds is doing a better job than they ever did. But yeah, so the future is Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, then whatever else they decide to do.
Do we think
Star Trek Janeway?
Yeah. Well, didn't she have... That was a cartoon as well.
She's in Prodigy, which I haven't watched because it's for kids, and I'm not really super into it. But yeah.
Is Picard coming back for season 4?
No.
That's kind of done.
We're done.
It
was wonderful. Don't watch season 2 if you're like, I haven't finished season 2 yet. Don't bother. Just pretend it didn't happen. Pretend it didn't happen. Honestly, nothing.
It was the pandemic season, wasn't it?
Oh, it was shit. Season 3 was great. The finale was a little bit too fan servicey, but if that was the story they wanted to tell it was like one of their movies. It was TNG movie rather than a new adventure.
But it was,
if they'd done that from the start, you would have been like, wonderful.
But wait, we've complained about certain TV shows just being
too much fans. Yeah, it is a little bit. It is a little bit like that, and I will take. Maybe I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah,
but I did love how they did it.
Plus,
it was a good story. They introduced the characters, we'd seen them before, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
The final bits were very much like woo,
was it
gang together kind of thing.
Okay.
But
that's
Wesley, also fun.
Is Wesley in it?
He is.
Okay, that's fine. Don't say anything.
But that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, do you see the Boys spinoff?
Gen V? No. I watched half of the first episode. I'm sure it's really good, and I do intend to watch it, probably, but I wasn't in the mood.
Okay.
That day when I put it on, I'm like, I just can't do this. It's too dark. It's too horrible.
Yeah.
It's a horrible, horrible world they live in. I wasn't mentally there. I was like, I need colors. I mean, to watch something else instead.
I have to be careful when I watch that, because it is the kind of thing where it's just like something weird just happens every single episode, and you're like, why? How is this?
I enjoy it.
TV show.
Anyway.
The TV show called Invincible.
Yeah, baby.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about it. Because I didn't know until recently that it was actually based on a comic book.
Sure is.
Which is not surprising, but...
because it looks like a comic book.
And it's got Stephen Yeun.
Does.
And
Sandra.
Yeah. Tell me about this TV show. And tell me why I should watch it. And the viewers.
It's basically... it's Seth... What's his face as well. So it's animated The Boys. Rogen? No.
Seth Rogen?
Yeah. He's a producer.
Produced by...
He produced The Boys as well.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Seth Rogen. Sure. Yeah,
so he's produced this as well. So it's very much the same sort of vibe, just with animation.
Okay.
So it's very much head explodey, death, horrible gore, shock value.
Okay.
But in cartoon form.
And what makes that better?
It seems, because it's a good animation, it seems less ridiculous, if that sounds, because I'm very used to looking at that kind of animation.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, walking around, here's a penis, and exploded, it's just, it's all a bit silly in The Boys.
Yes.
When they do that.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just quite shocking. The first episode, if you watch that first episode of Invincible, I cannot say a thing. Watch that first episode.
Okay.
To the end, and if you do not text me and say, what the fuck? Then I can't help you, I'm afraid.
So it's got season 2 is this year as well.
Season 2 is, I'm behind on season 2. I think I've only watched 2 or 3 episodes.
Okay.
So I need to catch up. It's
so
good.
That's why it's like on this.
Yeah. It is. It's so good. I know some people aren't super fans. I don't know how true it is to the comics. Stephen Yeun, very charismatic. Sandra Oh, love her.
Mm-hmm.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Sexy as fuck, as always.
I like him.
Winning.
Good
characters. Fucked up storylines.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Is it like an easy watch as well? Like, is it in terms of like number of episodes and
like 10 episodes?
Oh, okay.
It's like 40 something minutes.
Okay, so it's standard kind of.
And it's good, really good. I would personally like to see more of the side characters.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's absolutely room for spin-off in the world, the way they've done with The Boys, just to see if there's interest in it.
Right.
Because there's a lot of focus on, obviously, Invincible.
I was seeing a lot of like commentary about it, and like, but I didn't know anything about it. I didn't see any like trailers. No one.
Just watch that first episode.
I'll watch the first episode.
It's really good.
So good. Next TV show, which again I have not seen, The Last of Us.
You didn't watch The Last of Us?
No, you know why I don't watch The Last of Us. I just think zombies are stupid.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But it's a video game one.
But it's a video game, so which is probably the reason. And also Pedro Pascal. So
Pedro Pascal.
The only reason I will watch it.
And there's a gay episode, and it's so wonderful.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful that it's a very obviously zombie apocalypse thing, which I don't care about. I hate dystopian futures, and I'm so over zombies.
I never watched Walking Dead.
No, I tried, and it's lost me. It's too dark and too depressing. But the way, because I've never played the game. I'm not a video game person. The way, because it was a video game, it feels like, so you've got the two lead characters, I'm assuming in the game, they go around and like interact with people and go to the next level.
The father and daughter, right?
Yeah, they're not, but yes.
Okay, yeah. Father and daughter dynamic.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Not each episode, like there's episodes where it's not about them, it's about where they're about to visit. So you see them, and then you just see them go in the background. You know, that kind of thing. So it's about these little cluster stories that they kind of dip in and out of, and sometimes the stories about them. It's just so good, and all the acting is amazing, and yeah, it's a really good take on, like, I know Walking Dead probably did it as well. It's like, it's the zombies aren't the interesting part. The interesting part is how do people react to it. I feel this did.
Well, that makes total sense, because that's what people watch stuff like that. It's about how people react to that new world.
But Walking Dead, it's still going. It's decades and hundreds of
episodes. Is it still going?
It's never ending. I think it's finished or finished soon. I tried to watch the final series. Anyway, it feels also very compartmentalized. It doesn't feel like overwhelming. It's like, it's 10 episodes. Just watch and enjoy it. It's so beautifully done. It's great.
I suppose I will, but it's not. To be honest, it's not behind my list because of the zombies thing. But
they're not really zombies. They're just mushroom people. It's great.
Yeah, with like the brain fungus, whatever. Yeah. Swear to God, like when that that's like the new fad, that fungus that takes over the brains of ants and they climbs a stalk. Everyone fucking heard about that. It's such a weird concept. I love it. I love the concept. It's scary. It's actually genuinely scary. Like, this thing happens, if this thing is real in the world with ants, it's not a far leap to say,
Here we are talking on a podcast. In like 2 weeks, the whole world collapses. Could happen.
2 white guys in a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, what about, have you seen...
Am I doing all the heavy lifting? I've watched all the TV shows. What else you got?
This is the last one that I haven't seen.
Okay.
The last one I have to ask you about that I haven't seen is Ahsoka.
Oh, Star Wars, yeah.
Star Wars, yeah. So I think that was the only Star Wars TV show that came out this year.
When did Andor come out?
Andor probably was this year as well.
God, this year's been fucking long.
It's so long.
Jesus
Pretty
Christ.
sure we talked about Obi-Wan Kenobi last year. And then there was Andor. I'll look it up.
Either way, I watched... Yeah, I didn't watch Andor yet, but I watched Ahsoka because I love Rosario Dawson. Mm-hmm. Very fun. Very enjoyable. Not amazing. I think I'm not... It's because I don't love that universe. My love of space travel is Star Trek, civilized uniforms, sitting down for dinner kind of thing. Whereas Star Wars is still cowboys in space with cloaks and riding. It's a weird, different dynamic. What I will say is, if you've got a good TV, that is one of the most beautiful TV shows I've ever seen. The CGI on that show, the difference between, Marvel stuff and the Star Wars stuff, it was stunning. There's a fight sequence in a cherry blossom forest, and there's obviously giant ships that are flying, and it is stunning. So clearly they're paying their staff properly on this project.
I genuinely didn't realize it was a cartoon.
It's not a cartoon.
Okay, so there you go. Somebody, because in some advertisements, she looks very heavily CGI.
She sure does. She looks like it because the character was introduced in the CGI TV show. The Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. Yeah.
That's where this leads on from. Yeah. And I was like, I've never seen that, but it doesn't matter.
That makes a lot more sense, actually, because that's why she looks...
Yeah, and so she looks just like that. She looks great. Great. I didn't love one of the leads. I don't remember any of the names. Mm-hmm. Not Rosario Dawson, but the other woman. I didn't care for her. I found her acting stiff and wooden. Okay. And Ewan McGregor's wife is in it, and she was terrible as well.
Ewan McGregor's wife, or Obi-Wan Kenobi's wife?
Ewan McGregor's wife was an actress in it.
I don't know who that is.
Neither do I. She wasn't great either. Which kind of... her doesn't matter. She's the background, but the lead, like, ooh, I'm still angry about my friend. It's like, oh god, you're really like.
One thing I will say about the Star Wars,
Rosario's acting her ass off, looking badass in her weird gobbly head. Sorry, yes, Karen?
Gobbly head. What?
She's got a weird gobbly head thing.
First of all, Andor came out September 2022, so let's not talk about that.
No, I haven't finished it.
But one thing that the Star Wars universe is doing very well especially with this TV show, is they don't come like 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And also each one, you don't have to watch.
You do not have to. Yeah,
you don't have to watch the previous one to enjoy this one.
If you've watched all the Clone Wars stuff, you get a huge amount extra. You know, you've spent that time, and that's great. That really informs the characters, and they kind of touch on it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. It's just a good show.
Yeah.
It's Learn Marvel. This is what you need to do.
And also, they are also expanding on the universe.
Yes.
Like, they're doing TV shows that are not about the Skywalkers and the...
Having said that, Obi-Wan is one of my favorites that they've done. And that is...
TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
It was so good. It explored a little gap in the thing, and it did it so, again, faithfully and really well.
Exactly.
It took people who like really cared about the mythology and the world building and wanted to just kind of give these two characters, give Anakin some time to be a character. It was great. Mm-hmm. That was ages ago. I'm sorry. But yes, Ahsoka, beautiful.
Is there going to be a season 2 for that one?
Yes.
Perfect.
There's got to be a season 2. I don't know how long it'll take him. It was very, very cliffhangery.
Yeah. Let's talk about Marvel TV shows.
Oh, I don't know if I want to.
No, we'll just mention it.
Go.
Secret Invasion.
Sucked.
Behind it. Loki season 2.
Sucked.
It wasn't. I just don't know.
Hated it.
You know what? The more reviews I see about Loki season 2, the more people say, "Well, it wasn't that great, but it ended cool."
They're just so willing to defend that kind of character who's just a straight white asshole man, but people really resonate with him.
Interesting, yeah.
They'll give him lots of leeway for like, oh, it's a bit slow, but you know what? You needed that. It's like,
no, you
don't. It was bad. It was just bad. It's bad. Anyway, yes.
Disappointing.
Any others?
Yes. What If season 2 is this year, but hasn't come out yet.
Isn't it like today?
Is it today?
I think it comes out today, and it's like one episode a day over Christmas.
I knew that, yeah, but I didn't know what day it starts.
I think it's soonish. It's this week. Today or this week.
Okay.
I'm excited for that, but
I am too.
I've seen the episode list, and I only kind of want to watch like a few of them.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I didn't.
But I'll watch them all.
It's the same as the first season. I only really wanted to watch half of them.
The zombie ones are the best ones.
That was the worst.
I know you hate them, but it was so. I loved it. I thought it was so good. But
boring. Yeah. Everyone dies. Who cares?
Oh no, it was so good. Zombie Wanda, eat my ass. Was so good. She was so good.
Eat my ass.
Eat my ass. She was so good. I loved her. But that's fine. It's something for everyone. Some people love the zombie stuff. Yeah. And some people love whatever boring shit Peggy Carter's up to this week.
Peggy Carter.
Ugh.
I mean, good for her, but
good for her for milking that fucking role. But
that wasn't even, you know what? That is what I found out recently. That character of Peggy Carter first was invented by an app, a Marvel app game that I play. The character was introduced in that, and then it was so popular, called Marvel Puzzle Quest. You know, if you know it, you know it. But like it was then so successful as a concept that they put it in the comic books, and the comic books then sort of as like an alternate reality kind of thing, and that's what prompted that's what prompted Multiverse of Madness, and then for Multiverse of Madness, that was prompted What If, and then the character showed up in Multiverse.
Captain Carter.
Oh,
yes. not generic Peggy Carter.
No, not Peggy Carter. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, I'm pretty sure Peggy Carter in the comic books was Nazi adjacent. That's why everyone hated her. But which is fair. Boo Nazis, frankly. Boo Nazis.
I'm pretty sure we can go on the record.
On the record, I will say boo Nazis.
We here at Incomplete Geeks say boo Nazis. Okay, very good. Last TV show I want to talk about is Doctor Who. Doctor Who, which is something that you should watch.
I'm never going to.
No, you're not going to. Well done on the BBC and Disney Plus, to be honest, for getting every single episode of Doctor Who that is available, because a lot of them have been lost, on a streaming service.
Yeah.
Well done.
Geeks love it.
Geeks love it. Literally, I'm thinking to myself, should I watch these? Like, literally 50 years. 60 years.
Jeez.
With gaps. Yeah. 60 years of 60 years of episodes, I could sit down and watch these. Like, they're just on. I just click, So well done for them. And also the 60th anniversary specials, which there were 3 of them, came out in the previous couple of weeks. Love them. Fantastic.
Great.
You have David Tennant, who came back.
Yes.
And he's trying to figure out why he's... Because, the Doctor is like regenerates into different bodies and different faces or whatever. And again, when the Doctor regenerated into a woman for the first time, like 3-4 years ago, people had a shit fit about that as well.
They sure did.
Fuck off. But through that story, they expanded on the history of this Doctor's story for a long time. Turns out he's not from planet Gallifrey.
What?
I know. The Gallifreyans. I won't say I haven't actually watched the episode, but I'm just sort of reading about it.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Don't get ahead of myself. But so there's part of the Doctor's backstory that even he doesn't know, he or she doesn't know, and so there's that kind of journey. And the 3 60th anniversary specials, which came out recently, are there to sort of bring back David Tennant and Catherine Tate.
Yep, I've seen
and introduce Ncuti Gatwa, who
I thought he'd already
fantastic.
been introduced. I thought he was already in the show. Is this where they're starting him?
No, he's
he was cast ages ago.
He was cast ages ago, but he's not been in a canonical show until last week, I guess.
Okay.
And then he's going to be in the Christmas special.
Oh, there's always a Christmas special.
Yep. And then I guess this new season is next year. So I can't wait. And yes, we will do an episode about Doctor Who.
Yep. Should we get someone who knows about Doctor Who?
Yeah, me.
To co-host on that, so you guys have someone to banter off with?
Yeah,
we can try. If you know about Doctor Who and would like to be on our podcast, write in incompletegeekspodcast@gmail.com.
All right, let's move on. The last topic I have before we go into your things. We'll go through these really quickly, but video games.
Okay.
The big video games that came out this year. Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Was that this year?
That was this year.
Oh my god.
I still haven't finished it.
Oh, disgraceful.
Speaking of the Switch, Super Mario Bros. Wonder has come out, and everyone fucking loves it. It's groundbreaking. That is a thing.
How is it different? Anyone know?
Because the way that
you didn't do your research, did you?
No, it's just on my list. I didn't look into it. It's just got really good reviews. It's got really good multiplayer as well.
Fun.
There's a lot more creativity in the kinds of powers that Mario and his team can have.
Love that.
Other video games that came out that are worth talking about. Baldur's Gate 3.
Big balls.
Baldur's Gate 3. That is it's a D&D based. It's a game in the setting of Dungeons and Dragons. People have been waiting for it for many years. It came out this year. It is gonna win lots of awards.
Have you played it yet?
No, but we're gonna make a character together and start playing it.
Yes, it's not on the Switch though, is it? It's the PlayStation.
I don't know if it's on the Switch or not, but more importantly, I don't think it's cross-platform for every platform. Some platforms are excluded. So, but we might.
Yeah, we'll do an episode where we make a penis. It's fun.
Make a penis. Diablo 4 came out. Another very prominent franchise.
Yep.
It looks. I played a little bit of the beta version. It looks very similar to the Diablo 3, which I own. Just new classes to play as, new powers, and it's kind of the same setup. If you like Diablo, it's a really good new entry in that one. Same game style. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Remember this one? You know the TikTok of the meme where he's like wearing a loincloth and you just see
yes,
that's the game.
You know how to spot my memory. Yes.
Yeah,
I know that guy.
He's like meditating and he's talking to a droid and he's like wearing only a loincloth. And,
love it.
And Spider-Man 2.
Yes, of course.
Spider-Man 2, which
good year for games, geeky games.
Yeah, definitely. I literally thought about this. Like, I'm still playing. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but there's a lot of games that came out that if you are a gamer, will be very happy with what came out this year. Spider-Man 2, it's got Miles and Peter, and I don't think it's multiplayer, but it's because the first one was so good, they just did it again, expanded on it, and it's great. The biggest complaint about the first Spider-Man was that it was too short.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just sort of, we'll do it again.
Fine.
Yeah, that's video games. we could go into a lot more detail, but that's on me, and I haven't done my research yet. So
that's a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a good year for video games. So that's all I got for like what was released this year. There's only one topic. Well, actually, before we get on to that, what came out this year in the world of comic books, Nicholas?
Well, I don't know. Like a lot.
I don't know.
A lot. I pretty much only read X-Men comics.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing that happened this year was the Hellfire Gala.
That's not every year?
So, yes, the Hellfire Gala is a thing that happens every year. However, this year, spoilers, was the last one.
Oh, because they realized it was a stupid idea?
No.
Did it blow up? Did someone...
Because, okay, so I read Marvel, I have Marvel Unlimited, and which is great because you can read everything. However, the hook is it's 6 months behind.
Oh, okay.
Publication. Which is a pain when you're listening to Brett and Evil Jeff talking about what's come out this week, or Connor talking about it, and all the TikToks talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been years and years since I've ever read a story where I didn't kind of know what happens.
Right.
Which I'm fine with because, it's quite similar to when you first start reading comics. You're like, I kind of know Jean Grey dies, but I'm going to read the story, and it doesn't take away from it. It's fine. The Hellfire Gala was released the same day on Marvel Unlimited as for people who bought it new. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I knew it was new and coming, and then it was on there. So I was like, oh, I wonder if this is a trick thing. I cannot remember the last time I've read a comic slack jaw in shock. Like,
really?
The twist in it is so shocking and surprising, and it was done so well. Perfect build up, like none of it's out of the blue, but also at the same time completely out of the blue, and changes the dynamic of the entire X-Men universe in a good, like not in a good way, it's a shit way, but in a way that's
impactful.
Like it keeps the story going.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, now reset, because my biggest fear is when they did all this, changed everything and made the Krakoa and everything like that, was that sooner or later they're like, we have to reset this so that it matches the cartoons and the films. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You've revolutionized X-Men, and you want them to go and live in a posh house in upstate New York, moaning about Sentinels. It's like, I can't do it. But you have to kind of end this era somehow.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to end a while ago. So this is kind of a way of doing the fall of it. And I was like, how are they going to do it? And it's really good.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. If you're reading comics, you already know what's happened.
Yeah. And if you don't read comics like me,
you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's just done really well. A really good way of making a depressing, miserable situation out of, yay, we've got everything we wanted.
Right.
Without it feeling cheated.
Cheap,
yeah. And it's like, oh, all of that makes sense. This sucks. And now they're fighting for this, and they're doing this, and they've gone underground, and oh, she's gone over here wearing it pushes the characters in really, really interesting directions.
Okay.
That we know. I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm pretty sure it's going to wrap up. They've announced the next line of titles that'll come out next year, which is the reset, and all of us are freaking out because it's like, God, if they're in that fucking mansion, because the film, they need to reset.
Well, good then, because I mean, it gets people interested and hooked.
It was so good.
Knowing me, I'm just gonna read about it on Wikipedia or something like that. As soon as you leave, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna go.
Do you know about Krakoa? Do you know what this?
Only what you tell me, basically.
It won't be as impactful. But anyway, it's good.
I'll still watch it.
It's really good.
In the fact you mentioned Hellfire Gala, in that game that I play, that Marvel Puzzle Quest that I play, and have been playing for close to 10 years, there was a promotional, if you log on to Marvel Unlimited, whatever, you get a special costume, something like that in the game. That's fun. So yeah, it was probably a product-wide kind of promotion.
Cute. I mean, it wasn't cute. It was depressing and miserable as fuck.
I don't think it didn't say anything about the story. So that's the year in review.
So that's what happened this year so far.
Yes.
Shall we look to the future?
Tell me about.
As New Year's approaches, God knows when this episode comes out. Hopefully before January the 1st.
Probably. It doesn't matter.
We'll see. As we look to 2024 of what we're excited for.
Yes.
So I have a list. It's not an exhaustive list.
Of course.
It's a list I made when exhausted, you know? So I've got...
So it's an exhausting
and
list.
it's an exhausted list. So these are some of the ones that I know I think are coming up this year.
Mm-hmm. 2024
that I want to talk about that I'm excited about.
Yeah, lay it on me.
There may be more if you've got some shout out.
Well, I've mentioned some already, but yeah, let's
The Boys season 4.
Is that definitely coming out?
Wow.
I mean everything is gonna be like I don't know.
Aww.
Things can change. But at this point we are looking forward to it. I actually thought that season 3 was a bit sort of meh. Like same old.
I think it's the
it's
trope is getting a bit tired now.
Absolutely.
You need to do something interesting. Is it the final one, do we think?
I don't know.
I want it to be the final one so they do a good story and they finished hard. Which is what I would do, and Jensen Ackles is back. Oh!
He's coming back.
No, he's not. But if he was, I would have finished hard.
I mean, he was like the
worst. It would have been hard, then finished. Sorry.
Love him.
Oh,
he was like the worst kept secret as well.
Yeah, he really was.
The fact that this what was his name?
Soldier Boy.
How is like he's dead, but he's dead now. Like, oh, he's not dead. Like, yeah, we knew that because he's Jensen Ackles. So.
He's Jensen Ackles. It's not a big surprise. But
I
just want Homelander to die. I can't wait till they kill him off. It's great.
That's gonna be like. Do you think the show would end? It has to end at that point.
Just please end.
Homeland. Get ahead of myself. Didn't care about the kid. Sorry.
Oh, his kid?
I didn't care about
Homelander's kid.
Homelander's kid.
No, I only care about him when he grows up and kills Homelander.
Is that a thing?
I hope so.
Oh, okay. I didn't care.
That's also the story of basically Invincible.
Is it?
Is the kid is the only one who can take out the dad.
Oh my gosh.
I've just ruined that first episode for you.
Whoops. A lot of and for everybody who's excited to watch it and come back to you.
Sorry, but we're on season 2 now. If you haven't
cut it out. What was I going to say? Yeah, that's a trope.
The kid. I didn't care about the kid.
Daddy issues.
Yeah.
So many daddy issues, and a lot of this is very, very masculine, isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like if he did a better job of kind of like mocking that or like critiquing that would be a lot better. I know it's just they're gonna hate me. I know it's called The Boys, but I'm sick of all the characters being men.
Yeah.
Like I would
there's one female.
Yeah. And
like all the comics is called The Female.
Oh god. And like it started getting interesting with Stormfront and all that kind of stuff, but they're still the girls. It doesn't. And they're not doing enough of a job of looking at toxic masculinity and like critiquing it.
Commenting about it.
People jizz over Homelander. Like they're making him he's such a disgusting fun character. It's like, no, he's Trump with I-beams.
Yeah, basically.
Like it's not doing a clear enough job of like.
So I think they're finally getting around to that towards the end of season 3, which is what I'm excited about season 4.
I hope they do that. Yeah,
the character of Homelander realizes that he can be who he has been wanting to be, and because people will be on his side, and he's basically because it's an allegory for that kind of QAnon, right wing, batshit crazy people. So I didn't care about the kid. I didn't really care about Stormfront either. The whole tie with Nazis. That's like not our generation. Like I get it. It didn't work. So I'm excited about season 4.
I hope they do. I hope they do something different with season 4 and don't be like more wacky adventures and exploding penises.
Exploding penis.
I can't. Not anymore.
I remember at the time it was like, oh my god,
I know.
And now it's like,
oh my god, guys, come on.
Who was that? I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
So strong hopes, big hopes.
I mean, I'll watch the shit out of it.
I will watch
always do. But I do have expectations for it, and if it just delivers another bloke thing, I'll be pissed off.
Now that Homelander's off the rails, I don't think there's anywhere else we can go. They can go with that character. So
they can't
he dies, and that's the end of the show.
Me too.
That would be great.
I would love. It'd be so satisfying. Please just do that and have a good way to kill him off.
Also, if I could play a young Carl Urban in any opportunity, I would do that.
Aren't you the same age as Carl Urban?
I don't think so, but we get compared a lot. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Bones in the Star Trek universe with Chris Pine.
I know who Carl Urban is. He was in Thor Ragnarok as well, so he's done all three of those. Okay.
I'm just waiting for Star Trek, that alternate universe, to fast forward to next generation, and I can play like a different alternate reality.
They're not doing that, which is a shame.
Which is a shame.
But they're not.
I've been practicing my chair sitting.
I know. You'd be fine. You tower over them.
Okay, next.
This is not in order of release.
So it's not even like film, TV category. Just anything you got.
And these are just the things that I have.
Okay.
Craven.
Oh, again, Craven was. You know what? If you're an actor, let me back a little bit. If you're an actor, you have roles that you imagine yourself being amazing in.
Was Craven yours?
Was one of them.
And Riker's kid.
And Riker's. It's truly Riker. It was Moon Knight back in the day as well. Like, I could play a Moon Knight crazy sort of
that's Oscar now. So.
Dual. Yeah, but the thing is, you miss out on these things as the older you get and the more not famous you are. But like Craven,
he doesn't look. I'm all fully in support of Aaron Taylor Johnson running around topless. Wonderful. But that's whatever that is not Craven.
Yeah.
He's an English-American animal rights activist.
I thought he was like Russian or...
Exactly. Oh, no, Aaron Taylor Johnson is like an English person speaking with an American accent as an animal rights activist.
What?
When he is a Russian game hunter.
Like,
he hunts prey, and the most deadly prey of all is spider.
Hang on.
I'll watch it. I'll still watch it, so you don't have to.
Please, yeah.
So that
I haven't seen any of those Sonyverse Spider-Man villain
Venom
shows.
Stuff?
Never watched Venom. Didn't watch Morbius. What was the other one? I forget now.
That's it.
That's just the two.
So,
okay.
On that note,
what else?
Madam Web.
That's a Sony thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I actually watched the trailer for Madam Web.
Yeah.
I'm interested. But I'm not that interested.
So, I like the concept of
Madam Web,
seeing through time kind of thing, which I know it is kind of sort of her power. Mm-hmm. I feel like she's a paraplegic or quadriplegic in the comics.
Yeah. I say like I have.
I've heard. Yeah. In the cartoon, she was voiced by Stan Lee's wife.
In the
animated series, the 90s one, she was voiced by Stan Lee's wife, but she was brilliant. It was great character, great twist, great fun to do the multiverse. I like the whole seeing the future timelines and then you prevent it, and the way she's like, whoa, and now I know how to level that shit. It's a trope, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. And it's not been overdone either, really.
No, not really. When you think it could be, it's going to be awful.
It's going to be
awful. But what I will say, I'm so grateful for, and it gives me such hope. Madam Web and 4 Spider Women are in that film.
Yes, I love that as an idea, as a concept. I love it.
But no Jessica Drew.
Oh, really? You're happy about that?
I'm so happy, because that is going to be a fucking train wreck. Sydney Sweeney's not going to be able to pull that out of the bag, being Julia Carpenter. And all the other Spider Women girl people. It is going to be a catastrophic mess, and I'm so happy Jessica Drew will not be included in that. I'm pretty sure they're going to save her for the MCU. That gives me hope that at least they'll save her for the MCU.
That's good.
That's a good sign, right?
That's a good sign. Yes.
Like, they threw all the others in, but they're going to keep Jessica at least, maybe, for something else.
I mean, I don't know any of those 4.
I know Julia Carpenter, but I don't know any of the other Spider Women girls people.
I like how they are all based on comic book.
Yes, they're all comic book characters. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Oh, okay. I'm putting my acting hat on. These 4 women, and I was going to say the man as well, who apparently is like the villain or whatever. But he's not. I can't tell from the.
Who's the villain?
Ezekiel Sims.
I don't know who the fuck that is. He's in the comics. I've only because I know people have talked about it.
But he's always like costumed, so I can't tell if he's good or not. But these 4 women, they do not look like they're good actors. They do not look.
People loved her though.
But the main thing about her. Oh, Sydney. I don't know about Sydney. Oh wait, Sydney.
Sydney Sweeney, is that her name?
Oh, the actor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are. Dakota Johnson as Madam Web. the way she delivers lines in the trailer, I was like,
he was the person who, what's the line? He was the person who was studying spiders with my mom just before she died in the Amazon.
Yeah, I know, right? Like just before she died in the Amazon.
Really? Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it? That she was studying spiders in the Amazon before she died, Spider Person.
And also, I think it definitely dripped.
So I'll probably watch it too.
I'll tell you what. You tell me if it's worth going to the cinema for.
Yeah, I would say that.
Is it? It's definitely going to be in the Sony world, right? Not the MCU world.
Yeah, it's 100% the Sony world.
Fine.
So it doesn't matter if you watch it or not.
Next.
Hopefully, a more positive one. Agatha Darkhold Diaries.
Oh, right. Is that next year?
Yes. Thank God.
Is it?
FYI, if it's not, I'm really sorry. I wrote this list. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not going to Google it. Let's just talk about Agatha again.
I mean, do you want me to tell you?
Yes, please, if you're Googling it.
I'm literally just on the Wikipedia. It is slated for early 2023. No, I lied. Filming took place in 2023. It will schedule to premiere late 2024.
Okay.
So not the first TV show.
No, but we're not doing this in order. So it's the only kind of one I'm excited about.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll fuck it up. Because the reason they fuck up the other ones is because they don't have a story or they don't know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could do that with this too. I mean, they could absolutely do that with this. They've got a ton of characters. They have Patty fucking LuPone in this show.
Who's she in this one?
Just the Coven of Witches. I don't know. Okay. I don't know any of the other ones. We've got Patty LuPone, Audrey Plaza, Catherine Hahn, and
Audrey Plaza.
Yeah,
Aubrey Plaza. Okay,
I said Audrey. I'm sorry. Another great casting for a weird kooky group of witches.
Absolutely.
But given the recent shows, like it could just be all over the place and no reason why you've got Tony-winning actress Patty LuPone as a witch in it. You're like, what? Why is she? I'm worried that will be the case. Mm-hmm. I hope not, because as far as I understand it, it's all about the winding road, winding way, which is a comic book thing about witchcraft.
Yeah.
Which links to Agatha, which links to Billy.
Yes. Who we've seen in behind the scenes.
Yes, we know who's cast as him. That guy from Heartstoppers.
Joe Locke.
Yeah. Who looks perfect. That's perfect casting for him.
To be fair, yes.
And he's gay, and is he Jewish? Is he a little bit Jewish?
I don't know.
I hope he is. That'd be great.
Is the character Jewish?
Yeah, because he's Wanda's child. And Wanda's Jewish.
Wanda's Romani, kind of.
Romani, Magneto,
Jewish. Magneto. Oh, right.
In theory, and people are upset. Whatever. That's not my story to tell. But the winding road could connect.
I don't know where you're going with this.
To Wanda.
So you think Wanda's not just gone forever? I will say this. They have to, because the last time we saw Agatha was when Wanda puts her mind back into the fake world, whatever.
Yeah.
So if Wanda's quote unquote gone,
that spell's broken.
The spell's broken. That's what I said at the beginning. So like, what is she doing now? So
fun. We'll see that. That's fun. I can't wait for that.
So I know we've complained before about TV shows that contain characters that are just from other TV shows, but also like Echo, which
yes,
Echo's an example.
Yeah, but Echo, Catherine Hahn, come on, guys.
I know.
The breakaway star as you were in that show.
But also we've got WandaVision, which was a TV show.
Yeah,
but those had film. That was a film story, and so if this comes off of that, they have to tie it in somehow. But then again, you have like films like the Marvels, which have characters that are from TV shows, and they don't get successful because, people haven't seen it. So what's the answer?
The thing is,
22.
I
don't know.
But the thing is, we won't know if this show bombs because there's no box office. So it'll just be a show. Jack Schaefer's involved in it, who ran WandaVision. Yeah. So that's a good sign as well. She wrote on it, or a series showrunnered it.
It can't be the same kind of setup as WandaVision.
No, not at all. It's got to be Agatha's journey and what she's trying to figure out. If we have loads of episodes of Agatha, like coming out of the spell and just doing just Catherine Hahn wandering around being a witch in any old city. If she's in Detroit being a witch, I would jizz. That sounds fucking great.
I'm looking forward to like
I don't know why I chose Detroit. That's the only thing.
1920s.
Any of it.
Agatha,
Any of it. As long as it's a story and you use these other characters well, I will do my best not to expect Lizzie Olsen to be a surprise at the end, because I think she's also said, like, no, that we're done with her, because
because you can't keep doing that.
You can't keep doing it forever, and that film was shit, and whatever. It'll still be good, even if the twist isn't Lizzie Olsen appears.
Sure. As long as it has a good story.
But she could!
She could. As long as it has a good story, we'll watch it.
Do a really good story. A cohesive story.
And not a film that's been expanded into 12 to 6 pieces. Yeah.
Thank you. Here's the journey. Which I think, it's TV producers this time, not...
Really?
Because it's Jack Schaefer and that sort of stuff.
I don't know.
And all the other ones. They're the One Division people, so they're
also, they do have some of the actors from One Division, like some of the Westview residents are reappearing in Dark Diaries. Probably a flashback, maybe. But we'll see.
We'll need to see it coming out. So
looking forward.
But then again, I was looking forward to Secret Invasion. So
I know. We'll see. They've got time. They're good. They've got time to figure out this shit, right?
I hope so. They're filming it. Couple more movies.
Mm-hmm.
Dune 2.
Yeah, Dune volume 2. Whatever.
Volume 2, part 2. I think.
Part 2. I saw the first half. It's weird fucking sci-fi.
Yeah.
Probably will watch it.
Yeah, absolutely will. Psyched. Really looking forward to it. I was surprised how much I enjoyed the first one, because it was so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Which kind of what sold it.
The main thing that I hate is that the lead guy is called Paul. Paul. Everyone else is Princess Allurion, and here's Paul.
Yeah.
Come on. Anyway.
Zebedee Famblakilon and
Paul.
Dave.
I'm excited for it. It'll be great. Shamalama Ding Dong's good. We get Florence Pugh, more Zendaya.
Who's Florence Pugh in it? I think
Princess Allurion.
Oh, all right.
Psyched. Oh, it may be long and slow and drawn out. I don't care. I don't mind. I don't love it. I don't mind if the pacing is slow and it's 3 hours and nothing happens. In this case, I don't care.
Okay.
Just cool. Pretty.
If you know anything about the Dune story, because it was like 5 or 6 books, it gets really fucking weird.
Okay, so when the film came out, someone told me like the backstory, and I did try reading the books, but no, God no. What I hope, my geek dream is, they'll do the films, 1, 2,
maybe 3.
Maybe 3. Big budget, big money. Yay. TV show.
Then a TV show.
Then a spin-off TV shows. Like, we can't keep making, but it is such a perfect space Game of Thrones, because it is families, it's lineage, it's people trying to think, it's post-dystopian theory space. Oh, if it's done well, it could be a really fucking great, long political space sci-fi thing. If they have budget, we'll give a shit.
But we have to make sure that...
And it's gay, right? Like, one of them's gay.
I don't know. You said this before.
The Emperor Slimeball is supposed to be like a rapist gay person.
Oh,
because it was
not good representation.
It's not, because it was written in the 70s by a guy who hated gays. But we're in there, making sure Oscar Isaac is naked.
He was naked.
That would have been his choice. No, I think so.
Was it in the book? I don't know.
I'm gonna pretend it is.
It's got Dave Bautista in as well. He's one of the. He's one of the in the Slimeball faction.
It had what's his face? Did Aquaman die?
Yes, but in the books he's resurrected frequently.
Oh, fun. Well, I look forward to that being spoiled for me. Thanks.
I don't know how. I just know that he appears in other books.
I'm excited.
Okay.
I wrote this one down, but I don't really care about it. Yeah. But I'm going to put it down. Furiosa.
Mad
Max.
I'll watch it.
Anya Taylor-Joy is great.
I mean, it looks interesting.
I say I'd watch it, but I don't know if I'll pay £13 to £12 to go watch it.
I'll tell you what. If someone asked me, "Hey, let's go watch a film at the cinema,"
I've got to buy one get one free.
Like, sure.
You bet your ass I would.
I might not go and see it on my own volition, but
I'm gonna get some buy one get one free cinema tickets. How do they do that nowadays? Remember Orange Wednesdays?
There was Orange, and there was
Orange isn't a thing anymore. It hasn't been for about 15 years. But
I'm with 3, and I'm not sort of...
They do something.
There's a new thing they're doing, but I don't think it's...
3 Plus, Cineworld.
3 Plus.
Find out for me.
Remember when it used to be called 1-2?
No, and this is my job writing about this shit. I should know. I'm interested in it, but I don't know if I'm interested enough.
Interested? but purely because of how awesome the character was in the previous film.
She's great. And, I mean, Charlize Theron is amazing.
Yeah.
But I think it's a tough shoes to fill. Big shoes to fill, tough act to follow. But Anya's good. She could be weird and interesting.
She's another actor who I've not been disappointed in anything I've seen her do.
No,
like Patrick Wilson. I didn't think I said that before, but
is that what you thought?
I definitely thought I said it in my head. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
One more.
Yeah.
TV show.
Only one more?
That's all I've got left on my list.
Fine. Okay.
Spider-Man isn't coming out next year. It was originally It was originally slated for March next year, but not confirmed now. It's been pushed back.
Okay, we've mentioned it already anyway.
So beyond the Spider-Verse.
Beyond, yeah.
It's not necessarily being good. That's really close for 2 films, though. I feel like it's going to take longer.
But I thought that was because they had, not surprisingly, they had intended for it to be 1 film, and they kept shoving too much shit in it. Like, let's make it 2 films. So they're kind of doing both at the same time, kind of ish, maybe, which is why they was doing another one. But who knows?
Well, that's when I googled it, it said it was originally slated for March, but it's been pushed back, and I couldn't quite find a date. So
to undetermined. All right.
As far as I'm aware, I apologize if you Google and instantly prove me wrong, but we've already talked about it.
I'll Google it right now.
Well, you're gonna be, because this is the last one.
Go on.
House of the Dragon season 2.
Let's do this.
Oh, I'm so excited. I will jizz myself.
I mean, the fact that we are able to jizz ourselves over a Game of Thrones franchise kind of thing.
What a wonderful,
finally.
What a wonderful, lovely, happy gift that we're able to get back to this. And I'm super excited. Yeah. And I love the fact that we've talked about it so often. It's so Game of Thrones, so perfect Game of Thrones. But I love the fact it is one storyline. Yeah. One storyline. We're not like, oh, here's an episode where we're following Bran. Nope. It is one storyline. Different points of view from it. Like, oh, we'll switch over to green, to black, to green. But it is one thing you need to follow that they will build up to. We know what the big thing is, and we know what happens at the end because we know what the rest of the thing happens afterwards. But
of course.
But the intrigue of what happens, the decisions, things we missed, things we didn't know, the world that they're allowed to build around it. I am so fucking excited. That cast is so goddamn good.
And also, there's no definitive source of what actually
happened. So they can remain really true to the books without having to be word for word.
Yeah.
And George is involved in it now, so they'll make sure, which is why it's slow. But at least we can be happy. We know what the ending is, so like there's no twist. It's just like go.
I mean,
I'm so excited.
I'm excited as well. But you made me think of something else.
Go.
Is
that better than House of the Dragon season 2?
What? No.
But that would have been a good one to finish on. I'm just.
Well, I'm sorry.
Way to be anticlimactic and ruin my.
What about the books? The books are supposed to come out this year before Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh well.
Speculation.
Didn't happen. It'll never happen.
You didn't mention the only Marvel film coming out next year. Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We'll see.
I mean, I think that's going to be one that's...
I mean, obviously I'll watch it.
We're going to have to watch it.
Yeah, and it'll probably be fun, but I don't know anymore.
Well, I mean, it will be fun because they have so...
Sorry.
Wait. It will be fun because of all the cameos that are probably going to be in there.
I just need to not expect it to be the big thing that leads to the next thing, which is the ongoing trouble with watching Marvel films. It's like, just watch the film.
Yeah.
And it's a fun thing. Like, look at all these fun films we made. X-Men, Wolverine.
Yeah. And like, that's also, if they make a film that is only about, like, I read a review about Quantumania where it's like, it felt more about, less about an Ant-Man film, more about chess pieces being put in place for future properties. And like, if you just... Deadpool 3 is not going to do that.
No.
It's just going to be Ryan Reynolds having his last...
Well, it also...
fun bit.
It's supposed to be... Could have been a way for Deadpool to come into the MCU. So that they can keep that character going.
There's no way that it's not. Definitely not.
Yeah. But does Ryan Reynolds want to do that? Do we want more Deadpool films after this?
No.
I don't. I loved 1. I really enjoyed 2. And I think 3 will be great fun.
Yeah.
But I think that's enough, guys. Stop making more than 3 films per individual character.
So true.
Thor, stop.
Stop Thor. Guardians had 3.
It's not an individual character.
Captain America had 3.
Yes.
Iron Man had 3.
Enough.
Really about him. Spider-Man had 3.
Oh my god, amazing. And enough. Stop.
What's next? Falcon.
Oh.
No, Yelena. I want a Yelena 3 movie story. What's next?
Neither of those are coming out next year, are they? New World Order and Thunderbolts are 25.
They got pushed back 25. What about
because they're gonna have to rewrite everything. They're gonna have to rewrite everything. Right.
How about a Kamala Khan 3 movies story arc?
I feel like she'll do something. TV show, movie. She'll do another thing. Bits and bobs. I don't know what's going to happen with the MCU. I can't look forward to it.
Well, regardless, we haven't mentioned Kang at all in this episode, which is fine.
Because it's not relevant to next year.
It's not relevant, no. I mean, that was newsworthy this year, but also...
In all honesty, I think it's just another good thing. It's going to make them stop and reassess what their plans were.
They're going to have to not redo, but
rethink it. Yeah. Kang, the big build-up was kind of put in place when they had all this let's go plans, and they've realized it's is bad.
Yeah, it's not.
And now that this is gone,
it's not.
The option is gone.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to be why don't we just make good films and TV shows?
Bring in the X-Men!
Fucking bring in the motherfucking X-Men. Anyway.
It's not a good episode of ours unless we mention the X-Men.
Bring in the X-Men!
If you, dear listener, have any thoughts about what happened in 2023 or what you want to happen in 2024, not just Marvel, anything geeky, DC, comics, TV stuff, let us know. Please write in incompletegeekspodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Questions, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, write in. You can also get in touch with us on TikTok and Instagram. Our handles there are Incomplete Geeks. Give us a follow while you're there.
And send us videos and stuff.
Yes.
If you see rumors or news pieces of stuff, send it to us.
We will disseminate that information.
That'll be very exciting.
And if you like this episode, give us a like. Share it with your friends.
Please
subscribe if you haven't done so already.
Lovely. Follow us along all these different platforms.
Every little bit genuinely does help.
Really does. Thank you ever so much for listening. I apologize I didn't properly Google the dates. I probably could have tried a little bit more and known this more back to front. But you know what? We're not complete geeks.
But we are working on it.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye. But I think I got it. I think I got that breadcrumb.